Yeah, he'd be 87 by the time they get to it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, have a good night, guys.
All right.
Take it easy.
Well, since you're here, Devin, and I am looking forward to talking about Rings of Power when it comes out again. I know Rhea said she's up to do some content on it as well. I really enjoyed the first season. What's that, RJ?
So what the hell's a Tom Bombadil?
It's a character from the original book that
has
been absent from all the media adaptations.
Oh, okay.
And into Rings of Power brought him back in season 2.
I don't want to be a hater. I just think it's like such a mistake to go back to Gollum. Like Gollum was heavily featured in the first trilogy.
Warner Brothers is doing something different from the like Amazon has the rights to like the books. They don't have the rights to like the Peter Jackson movies. Like so the movie studios doing their own thing based on
because of what their rights. I understand.
Yeah, but it doesn't interest me. Embracer Groups owns the rights.
Not that I hate Gollum as a character, and I thought Gollum was really well done in the first trilogy. But Devin, what's your thoughts on a Gollum movie? Like Gollum was so heavily featured in the trilogy.
Yeah, I'm not interested, especially after that Gollum video game.
Yeah,
really.
Oh, that was awful. That video game was awful. Oh
like,
my god!
At this point, I'm like, just leave the guy alone. Just let him.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a Gollum movie though. I think you're all being misled a little bit.
Sauron?
That's what they said so far.
I mean, that's what they led with when they announced the project.
They said Peter Jackson's back.
No,
right?
what I'm saying though is that if you know the story of Gollum and what happened,
Peter Jackson is producing.
No, who was sent after Gollum to go find him?
Aragorn,
Strider.
And also, I think it's Gandalf spent time looking for him too.
Yeah, I think it's actually about the search for Gollum, not exactly Gollum himself.
Fair enough.
Still,
I could be wrong.
We got the big story already. It's like a side story. It's not the whole point of Lord of the Rings is it's like it's epic, you know.
It doesn't always have to be epic. I mean, they can do a really cool self-contained kind of story adventure. I'm not down on that. I mean, Rings of Power is plenty epic enough. Like I'm okay with having my Lord of the Rings epicness filled with that. But as far as what they plan on doing with this Golem-related property, however that's going to manifest, so long as Peter Jackson is involved, I'm okay with it.
Well, what makes
even if it is Gollum,
excited is that it's Andy Serkis directing,
and that too. Yeah. I'm a fan of both of those people.
But this excites me more. Rory Kinnear will play Tom Bombadil in the Rings of Power season 2.
Imagine naming somebody Tom Bombadil like
Bombadil.
So the Tom Bombadil character is a game changer because people have been wanting his story for a very long time because he's a tremendous character in the books.
Mm-hmm.
He's super powerful and all that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, there are allusions to what he might actually be because the mythos doesn't ever really actually spell out who or what he is.
Look, Ray, I tracked down Devin to talk about Rings of Power.
I'm here.
I don't know. I just know the character. I just heard of the character. I don't know much about the character. I'm excited to see the character portrayed in live action. I know that they said, that was one of the things changed about Peter Jackson's trilogy, that they just didn't address this character. Or if they did, I missed it. I don't know.
They did not.
No, he wasn't.
They did not. And
big disappointment.
They didn't, which I don't know why. In either the Hobbit movie, which sure.
I also like what's the I'm blanking on all the Lord of the Rings characters' name. The main character in this series, Rings of Power. Galadriel. Yes, I like her. I actually think I like her version even better than the Peter Jackson trilogy. I like both.
Controversial take.
No, but I really liked her. I really liked her character in here. Here's some images that they're showing. I mean, I just don't know much, but it looks great. I can't wait. I don't know when this is premiering.
I think August.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They were smart. This time they didn't try to go up against the Dragons.
Well, I guess House of the Dragon, all of that got pushed up more. So I think like June is when House of the Dragon
House of the Dragon.
premiered.
House of the Dragon, The Boys, and
Yeah.
Acolyte.
The
Yeah, all
Bear,
those TV
season
shows,
3, Acolyte. Yeah, June's a very
Yeah.
busy month for TV.
So by the time House of the Dragon is over, it'll be around the original time frame that season 1 aired, which is, I guess,
that's going to be refreshing for fans of both series because you don't have to watch one after another. You can really dive deep into each series on its own.
Although I did like the whole Coke versus Pepsi aspect of like House of the Dragon versus Rings of Power, and like,
Rings of Power is a hard watch party though because I did a few of those and people
kind of
Power is not the kind of watch party kind of show.
No,
Game of Thrones is.
No, Game of Thrones is that's.
I mean, Game of Thrones is built off of the watch party format, you know.
So here's what they say to Vanity Fair: the showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay teased how Tom Bombadil will fit in the series. There's a reason why he hasn't been in prior adaptations because in some ways he's sort of an anti-dramatic character. Payne said he's not a character who has a particularly strong agenda. He observes drama, but largely doesn't participate in it. In the Fellowship of the Ring, the character kind of just go there and hang out for a while, and Tom drops some knowledge on them. Knowledge that's not particularly relevant to anything that they're doing or about to do. Okay.
Fellowship? When the? I did not know that.
No, in the book. They're talking about in the book.
Okay. He was not in that movie.
The second season of The Rings of Power finds Tom Bombadil journeying to the lands of Rune, which used to be green and beautiful, but has been turned into a dead wasteland. Tom has gone out there to see what's happened as he goes on his various wanderings. It's there that he will encounter the stranger Daniel Wayman, as seen in the photos above. When he finally crosses paths with the stranger, you could see he has a desire to keep the destruction that has happened there from spreading to his beloved lands in the West. Okay. August 29th. Third season is in development, too. That doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's in development.
Amazon.
Well, they shot the back-to-back seasons. Yeah, they shot back-to-back.
Yeah, I know that part of it was your fault, Justin, interrupting with weird jokes.
Well, you got to liven it up, you know?
Yeah. I also heard that season 2 has one of the biggest set pieces ever filmed. That's what I want to try to.
Yeah.
That was House of Dragon.
No, I think it was this too.
But last season of this they have epic battles and anything. So like, what more can you bring into the battle aspects? You know.
Speaking of, I see George R. Martin down there in the corner. Did you guys see what he had said about adaptations?
I did. Yeah, I thought it was
like he had the smoke for showrunners that kind of go off book and do their own thing when adapting different properties. And I was 1,000% on board with everything that he was saying.
He's right, but
showrunners that, like Evan said, like they go off script. They don't follow the actual source material.
Yeah, but bro, like you the first 6 seasons, first 5 actually, you was there on Game of Thrones, and then you left, and then the show went downhill, and you never finished in your book. So, bro, until you finish your book, stop talking and shit, bro.
Well, I don't think he was.
And you know what? Anthony's point is valid because you don't have to read the first 3 Game of Thrones books because the show is so true to it.
Yeah, the TV. Yeah, the TV show.
No, I don't think it was Game of Thrones. I think it was a broader conversation about just television.
He's right. I agree with him on that comment.
And when I had talked about Fallout after I watched it, and I referenced Fallout that as being like it is the antithesis of like The Witcher, as far as what the showrunner, how close the showrunner followed the source material, and like their devotion to actually replicating what made the franchise popular to begin with.
Well, Henry tried, remember? Henry tried, and they're like, nope, F up. Like, come on, you can't do that to an actor that knows everything about the damn character. And that's the reason why he left. And oh my god, that Liam, that's the next season is gonna do terrible in views wise.
They're canceling it after season 5 for a reason.
Good move.
And so you were talking about Game of Thrones and his books and whatnot, but when I was reading his comments, I wasn't even thinking about Game of Thrones. I was thinking about all the other shows that I've been angry about for lousy adaptations. So even though, yes, I want him to finish his book, but I've kind of resigned to the idea that those books are never coming out I'm with them. I want that message. I want someone with some heft to put that message out there so that maybe people will be receptive to it.
I mean, I don't understand why any creative who hates something would want to be a showrunner for a property they actively dislike and don't want to actually adapt. Like,
that's
ego.
Asinine.
Ego stuff. You think you know better than the actor. That's pretty much
That's
Hollywood.
not just the actor. It's like you think you know better than the actual creator or like the actual.
Yeah. That's the reason why Shotgun was amazing. It stayed truthful to the books and has getting a second season and a third one, and we're probably going to shoot 2 of them back to back.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Shotgun.
Shotgun?
The show that's on FX.
Oh, Shogun.
Shogun, I call it Shotgun.
Yeah, I thought that was never intended to have a second season.
Hold on, though. To your point, though, Anthony, Shogun is just one book. For the next few seasons, they're doing their own story. I mean, there is no other story to tell outside of like.
I still didn't see Shogun.
But you should also FX all the seasons out. Check it out.
Yeah, my point being, moving forward, they're doing their own thing because
they are. But if they could, I mean, it's also the show's historic as well. Like they could search up the character. Like it's not fictional characters. So like.
No, it's not. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so they have history. They could look up and do a ton of research as well for the next season and the next 2 seasons so far.
Plus, it's a miniseries that was done before in like the 80s.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
I think they're kind of skating on thin ice by going season 2 with it. To be honest.
Yeah,
but we'll see what they do. I trust the creatives. At least they're not gonna, do. Like the Game of like the Game of Thrones showrunners did in the last 2 seasons. I was like, okay, buddy.
Yeah. As a big fan of the show,
was a good adaptation, so that at least gives you some hope.
As a big fan of that guy's books, they're going to mess it up. There's just
well,
because they were